राधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
Hare Krishna. Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 1, text number 42. The sun, fire, sky, air, demigods, moon, evening, day, night, directions, water, land, and Supersoul himself are witnesses the activities of the living entity. So these are not just some objects, but there are conscious in charges of these things. Like Surya is a sun. That is, Surya here means the sun god, in charge of sun planet, the king of the sun planet. Similarly, Agni means fire, Agni Dev, and Kham. So, like that, there are in charges for everything. In the creation of God, in spiritual world, there is no inanimate thing. Everything is animate. Everything is conscious. In the material world, it's combination of both conscious and unconscious matter. But behind this unconscious matter, there are conscious beings involved. I think this monies they will take it out. So this, हाँ लेकिन मुझे पहनाने के बाद भी उसका दूसरा कलर ले सकते हैं ये मनी के बिना. So all these things what mentioned here, air, there is a Pawan Dev, air god. The sky also there is some demigod. One in charge. Huh? Yes, come in. Marut means air, Devaha, other demigods. Moon also has moon god. Evening, day, night, all these are in charges also. These are time like they are governing the time at that time. Just like our duties now in office, evening times, night times, somebody will be appointed in the factory. So all these directions also are their personalities. Dikpalas, you see. Dikpalas means the in charges of the directions. Night also there is a in charge. Night governing night. Daytime also, night time also. So everything in the creation of God is always perfectly supervised by some conscious beings. And that's why the whole universe is going on, being empowered by the Lord. It's not automatically happening. There are people involved behind it, everywhere. Even the river Ganga is not just a river, what you see, the water body, but there is a Ganga Devi behind it. All the rivers have some person. Even there are some names of the rivers will be female name and some are male names also. Mostly they are female, all the rivers, but there are one or two rivers has male also. Like that, 33 crores demigods are there. All these different demigods are in charges. Nowadays, people are not able to believe. So they say 33 crores means 33 types of demigods. Crores, koti. उच्च कोटि बोलते ना, कोटि मतलब श्रेणी है ना. They say there are 33 types of demigods. But actually, if you see all these 12, these witnesses, they are all in charges, demigods. Even Kali Yuga also is in charge of one demigod. Kali Raj is also like low grade, whatever Devatas are there, like high grade, low grade Devatas are there. We know the very prominent demigods like Ganesh, Kartikeya, these are Shiva, Durga, Brahma, Indra, air god, Pavan Dev, Agni Dev. Demigods. Like the demigods, that like when Sanatana Goswami wanted to leave this place because of mosquitoes troubling him there. Lord Shiva came and he requested him to stay back, and then he ordered in charge, demigod in charge mosquitoes, make sure that no mosquitoes are coming here. Yet there is a pastime. And there is next day onward there are no mosquitoes. So nothing is happening haphazardly. Everything has some controller behind it. And one who knows how to tap them, how to access those demigods, then he can work in a better way than ordinary people. Like you'll find the Hiranyakashipu and the Ravanas, or these people were aware about this whole creation. So that's why they were targeting with their tapasya to control these demigods. And he did that successfully. Haribol. But everything is being supervised. No one can escape these witnesses. Okay, somebody will say in the Surya is witness, at night time Surya is not there. At night time there is a Chandrama is there. Or somebody may say, okay, on Amavasya there is no Chandrama also. Then there is a demigods in charge for directions are there always. So like that you will find somebody will be always there. All 12, not all times, but at one particular time at least one of them will be there. And somebody may be thinking I am doing something in mind and nobody knows. Super soul is observing. So that's why mental sins also are there, but they are not counted in Kali Yuga. But in other yugas they are also counted. So who can see those things? Super soul sees. If you are thinking ill about somebody or cultivating some ill feelings on the higher plane, that is also considered sin. That's why mental offenses or mental sins are not counted in Kali Yuga. That is mercy of the Lord. In other yugas it is counted. Jamadagni's wife, this Parshuram's mother, what is her name? Renuka. So she went to fetch water. So she used to bring water every day for the puja and everything to assist her husband. And it is said that she used to bring it in cloth, I think, water. Something like that. She used to bring the water in the cloth because of her chastity or whatever that she had that power. But one particular time when she was gone, she saw some Gandharvas playing in that place. And she was momentarily attracted by seeing the beauty of the Gandharvas. But then she realized again, so that momentarily mind thought about some enjoyment. She again immediately controlled her thoughts. And that time she could not, something like that, fetch the water, something like that. But the Jamadagni could realize in his meditation that she was attracted like this. And therefore she wanted that she should be given death punishment for that. because it was unreasonable from his side. But that's how it is. Mental thoughts also were counted those times. So in Kali Yuga, because minds are so disturbed, that is concession, they are not counted. But if you don't take care of those mental thoughts, eventually it will come in the words and actions. So then it will be counted. Once one guru told all his disciples, okay, I am giving you one fruit, go and eat in a place where no one can see you. So all the disciples went next day to different places, hiding places to eat, and then they reported back. Where did you eat? He asked one by one. One person said, I closed my room, and inside the room, dark, I ate the fruit, and nobody saw me. Someone say, I went to the forest inside, deep in the forest, and thick trees, nobody was there to see me, and then I ate the fruit. Somebody say, I went inside the cave. Somebody say, I went under the water. Whatever it is. Different things they told. One of the disciple came, and he came with the fruit bag. So Guru asked what happened, and everybody was laughing at him also. Arey, ye kuch khaya nahi kaise. तो उन्होंने बोला कि I could not find any place that there is nobody is watching. Everywhere somebody was watching me, I said. And he said this same things. Daytime sun is watching, night time moon is watching. So there are all like cameras. So watching means what? They are the in charges, and then they have some agency or some system by which everything is recorded. Just like we have CCTV camera. So many cameras are put in one place. In all those cameras, somebody is there to observe, or it's getting recorded. So in Kali Yuga, such low class technology also you can have that. Everything is recorded. What to speak of then the system of Krishna? Such powerful system which they cannot imitate in our body. How the blood is getting formed, how the neural things works, kidney works, digestive system works. All this knowledge is so difficult to understand, but it's working. There are so many experts, surgeons, doctors for every part of the human body. Neurologist, kidney specialist, orthopedic surgeon, ENT surgeon, skin specialist. All these people, they spend years and years to understand something, and still they don't understand. So complex human body is, but it's working perfectly. So we can understand that it's possible for the Lord to do that. Every person's, all the accounts, karma is accounted. No one can escape. It's a system of the Lord, it's made. Swabhavik, it works. Because Lord being is most powerful, his system works. And actually in his system there are no flaws. And our man-made system sometimes may fail, or there are so many flaws. But the Lord's systems don't fail. And ultimately he is there. If all other witnesses fail, Super Soul is watching. That's what the boy said also. Nobody is watching, but Super Soul is always seeing me from within the core of my heart. And therefore I cannot do anything without anybody's knowledge. So then Guru became very pleased. And he said, yes, you understood right thing. When we are very driven by our strong desires, material desires, then the Maya covers the knowledge. And therefore people don't see all these things. Covering. Spiritual life means uncovering everything and seeing the things as they are. So devotee makes advancement, he'll start seeing these things clearly. It's not just the imagination or some superstition, but one can see very things clearly. To see the things with clarity, one has to come to the mode of goodness and one has to purify the heart. Then only one can see the higher realities. Param Satya, the supreme truth, can be experienced only by pure heart. Just like people who are habitual to wrong things, they also see the things. Then a cigarette packet or the tobacco packet, it is written that it is health hazardous, and sometimes they also print some photographs of somebody getting cancer, mouth cancer by eating this gutka. It's mandatory to print it like this. But because people are so much addicted to these bad habits, they don't see it. Even if they see it, they don't see it. It's called pashyane bina pashyati. Right? So many people, gutka packet, they just throw it and they eat gutka. And you can see horrible picture is put, somebody's got a cancer, right? There. Smoking or cigarette packet or these gutka packets. So they are seeing, but they don't care for it, means they are not seeing. Pashyanapi na pashyati. Pashyanapi means seeing, but they don't see. Because of their strong desires, they become blind. Their eyes are seeing, but their soul or their consciousness do not accept it. So material desires make us blind to see the actual realities. So our heart becomes purified, you can see very clearly what the Shastras are telling. And you can see it's wonderful. Lord systems are so wonderful for everybody's benefit. It's ultimately for my own benefit. But when we have unlawful desires, then our minds become blind to those things. Who has seen all these things? I don't believe all such things. Even though one may see it very clearly, but still there is no acceptance in the heart because of the improper desires one has cultivated. Addiction to certain things, wrong things. Avruttam jnanametina jnaninas nityavairina kamarupena kaunteya. The lust, desire to enjoy things, makes one covered over. Avruttam jnanametina, it covers one's knowledge. Jnaninas nityavairina, it is a eternal enemy of the conditioned souls. So therefore spiritual life means uncovering this various kinds of things we are putting on us, and because of that we don't see the things rightly. Yesterday I was hearing Srila Prabhupada's class. Prabhupada was mentioning that how these different upadhis we are put on ourselves. These are also coverings for the soul. Because of that our actual senses are not active. Spiritual senses are not active. We have become senseless, unconscious spiritually. Our senses, spiritual senses are not actually acting now. It is the material senses. We are covered over with these material senses. And therefore the real happiness comes when you are spiritually awakened. Sukham atyantikam yadvat yad buddhi grahyam atindriyam. Ati indriyam means the Krishna says that this happiness, sukham atyantikam, the spiritual happiness can be experienced by super senses, actual senses of the soul. Just like when my eyes are not working, then I put these spectacles, then I start seeing it. Similarly, the soul wanting to enjoy material world, he has to accept this material body over it. And then he's seeing through it, everything. And therefore his own senses are in one sense inactive. Just like when you are, people wanted to avoid the walking Then they invented a cycle, and then the motorcycle and the car. All right. So now they don't use. Even I have seen in places like IIT also, people they have to walk just 5 minutes from their home to their department or office. People spend 10 minutes to take out the car. And because they are not very habitual to utilize car, usually the car get banged somewhere while removing from the parking. you know. But they will not walk for 5 minutes. 10 minutes taking out, 10 minutes again parking, again taking out. 15-20 minutes they spend. So they have forgotten their ability, or they don't use their ability to walk. Whatever reasons, maybe like prestige or whatever is that. And then because of not utilizing the body, then they have to go to gym to set right their bodies. And then they will be walking on the platform which is rotating, which doesn't produce any walking. Simply waste of their energy in one sense, exercise. Everything is like that. God has given us this thing, body. They wanted to avoid work, but they cannot avoid it. Previously, they were utilizing their bodies to fetch out the water from the well, or they used to use grinding, and then sometimes there will be different we'll find moments of the body, so that the body remains healthy by doing all these natural exercises. But now we are advanced, modern man. Okay, we don't want to use all these things. We got mixers, we got motors and everything. And then what happened? Because of not utilizing these bodies properly, the body gives trouble. They simply eat and sleep, and the body has become fat. Then they have to go to gym. Whatever they were supposed to do in all things, like this, you'll find gym all kinds of exercises. Like this, they go. Some people are, doing like this, fetching the water from the well. But here in this case, by doing this thing naturally, they were saving money. They have to spend money there now. In gym also they have to pay money, and here also they are paying money. This is modern advancement. Both places you pay money, and they get troubles also. Now, with this understanding, we have actually forgotten our original nature of the soul. Soul has become so inactive in this body. We are utilizing this bodily machine, and the soul has become dependent on it. You have forgotten your own abilities. Prabhupada said, soul is free. You can travel anywhere with the speed more than the speed of light. That's how the soul is active. But because of this attachment to this material body, we cannot move also from one place to another. And Narad Muni, you can see how he travels swift, like lightning, because he has a spiritual body. No barriers. In this material body, it's a bag, big bag, you know. Sometimes you see, we travel and sometimes we have such big baggage that people are worried that where will get food, where will get this water, everything they fill up, and then it becomes so heavy. Similarly, because of our material attachments, so many attachments, we have burdening our minds, and this material body are over it. No freedom. In the name of so-called freedom, we have lost our freedom. Because of these material desires, there is no freedom to the soul. And still he thinks that I am free. I can smoke, I can drink. And Prabhupada said, what kind of freedom? You become servant of the bidi. You say, I am free to smoke. This boy is saying, I can smoke. And they advertise also, you should be free to do anything. Why there should be restrictions? And then he becomes servant of the small cigarette. Every time this tongue wants it, he has to provide cigarette. And then still he thinks free. Such foolishness. In the name of freedom, his freedom is choked, taken away. Even though he may get lung cancer or lung problems, still he cannot stop smoking or taking drugs or taking liquor. And still that is advertised in the corporate as enjoyment. Drinking wine is enjoyment, smoking is enjoyment. This is false ego. Even though one is suffering, still one is not able to accept it. And I am suffering. Who says I am suffering? Anybody becomes humble, sober, you can see he's been kicked by the Maya from so many ways. Birth, old age, disease, death, repeatedly. So many diseases we have to. The spiritual body, soul has no disease. There is no question of disease. No old age, no death. But here we are forced upon all these things. Repeatedly dying, repeatedly taking these COVID times, how scared people were because of this body. As long as we have this bodily consciousness, all these things will exist. Fear and troubles coming because of body, mind. And no one thinks of becoming free from it. And they are inventing on the bodily, this body, another body, cars and different kinds of coverings, further coverings on the material body. Previously, you'll find Brahmanical class people, they would remain very simple life. Simple life means becoming free from these material gadgets and necessities unnecessarily. In the name of freedom or the facilities, we have been trapped into those things more and more. Conditioned, air conditioned. We want air conditioned, AC. Already we are a conditioned soul, then we want to become conditioned to the air also. We are unable to stay without that. Everything conditioning, we are adding more and more conditionings. And more people become actually bodily conscious, that leads to sinful activities also. Because body will demand more and more. And when he has no resources, then he performs sins. Or such a person wants to enjoy different pleasures, then he get into sinful activities. Smoking, drinking, wine, gambling, all these things comes because of the too much of being bodily conscious, enjoying this pleasure, body demanding pleasures. Mental pleasure. Why people go for gambling? Because it's mental pleasure. Trying to win money in short time. Gambling. Mind is thinking about how to get more and more and more. Greed. Short time. Money without working, paying for it. Gambling. These gamblings are increasing. Why? Because people's minds are becoming greedy. They want more money, more money. That's why this gambling business is increasing. Similarly, other things also. Intoxications and activities. So more people become bodily conscious, body demands more and more pleasures, so naturally it leads to sin. And because of these sinful tendencies, they cannot see the witnesses also. First of all, they cannot see things, consequences also, like tobacco packet written, all these things they don't see. And they don't see this also, that there are witnesses around. The supul soul within. One spiritually becomes advanced, then he can see that I have been watched every moment. There is no question of avoiding the reactions. So it's better we understand that it is not to make us trouble, but to help us not to degrade down. All these witnesses are there. Purpose of witness is not Krishna want to punish us. Just this is for human beings. All these things are recorded because they are at a higher level of consciousness. For animals there is no karma because they are anyway fallen. To help us not to degrade down, this law of karma is made for human beings, so that we don't go down like this. It is not to just punish us, but to help us to maintain this consciousness. Only human beings, even human beings also, those who are highly elevated, Those who are very degraded human beings, for them also practically karmic reactions are not there much. Those who are already very, very sinful, that's why for very sinful people, some activities are not sinful for them. But for an elevated person, those activities are sinful. So that's why concessions are given to the lower class people. Okay, they can do it, those things. Because they're already so fallen, what they're going to go? Somebody is fallen on the ground, where are you going to fall again? Somebody at high place, then only can fall down. So definition of sin also you'll find in Shastras is there are different people, Brahmanical consciousness, some activity is sinful, but a person in Shudra, it may not be like that. They don't get that reaction because already they are getting reactions from higher things. And similarly, animals don't get any reactions because they are already undergoing the previous karmic reactions. So there is no reaction given into. But for human beings who are responsible and higher consciousness, to protect them from further falling down in their consciousness, the law of karma is there. And everything is been recorded. As is here mentioned here. Chitragupta, the Yamraj assistant. Its name itself says Chitra means the recordings, pictures. Chitrapat. So it is video recording. Right? Chitrapat is movie. Marathi they want Chitrapat, right? So this Chitragupta, he is recording everything. Or rather he is connected to all these recorders, different witnesses. So he has all the record. Just like nowadays, they have made a system that you have all the things are connected. And one's PAN card, Aadhaar card, and one's all the certificate, right? They put just one number, all his kundli comes. Right? So similarly, when somebody goes to the Yamaraj, he has to just, and everything will come. So they are very powerful systems. And Yamaraj is so empowered, it is said he is directly in touch with Paramatma, mentioned later on. He doesn't have to even enter anything inside. He just by seeing person, he gets whole things visualized. Somebody has a complaints, he can show them, okay. Put on some video. Different kinds of videos, whatever is there. So nobody can escape it. But we have to understand that this is not to just torture the living entities. This is to rectify the living entities. Just like jail is not to just torture, punish, but to rectify. And jail, hell also is like that. Jail and hell. Hell also is kind of a jail. As people cannot understand sometimes, then they need that kind of punishment. Thick skin becomes, then they cannot understand words also. Very elevated person, you just speak to him some words, and then immediately feels, oh, I did committed some mistake, and he rectifies. That's why Brahmanical class was not punished much like that. You find they actually atonement. They immediately repentance, genuinely repentance, and they themselves undergo rectification. But the lower classes were punished. Like once one king was in his court, and then they brought 4 thieves. All of them are committed thievery. So king was very expert. So he had got the reports, and he also was examining the people. So first person came. The king told that very kindly, said, why did you do like this? It doesn't fit to a person like you. Don't do it. Don't do it again. And left him. That's all. Another person was brought, second person. King became so angry on him. You rascal! how shameless person did it like this. And then he chastised him and he said, next time you do it, you will be punished. Get out from here. And another person came, third person. He became more angry. He shouted at him. He said he should be whipped. Some 100 times whipping. Punishment for him, for stealing. And the fourth person came, king became so angry on him. He chastised him and he started beating him and he said, take him on the procession. Make him sit on a donkey and let all people, throw stones at him, whatever is, very heavy punishment. So people were confused. And why all of them did the same thing? Why they are punished in different way? Then when the king saw that everybody is confused, it's okay. He said, let us meet again after some time. And then after a few days, couple of days, the king asked his spies to report about them. So what happened to all these four people? King asked the reports. He had sent the spies behind them. The first spy person told that the first person who was king told him, it's not good for you, don't do it again. That person, he never had done in his life stealing. And he was feeling so repentant about it, that I did such a mistake, that he gave up his life. He was unable to, The another person, second person, king had shouted at him. He said, that person has left the kingdom. He was unable to show his face. He went to some other place. Third person, he was beaten or whatever is, given that punishment. He is also fasting for last 3 days in his home. He is not able to come out. And the fourth person, he was taken on a procession. All people are throwing stones at him and spitting at him, shouting, speaking all the ill words to him. And they have made his face also black. And they are beating him also, sitting on donkey. And that person was going through different streets. And on the way his wife came to meet. Wife said, oh, my husband, what happened? He says, don't worry. Some little places remaining more, you go, keep the hot water, I am coming. Shameless person. She told her wife that nothing has happened. So in spite of all this punishment, this person was not having any shame like that. So that's how the consciousness becomes degraded. The person is not able to understand how he is suffering also and how what he has done is wrong. There is no understanding. So they require a higher grade of troubles to make them understand that they did something wrong. That's why these hellish punishments are different degrees of, you will find, pains are given to make them understand that it's not good to do such things. Otherwise, it's very difficult to come out of this consciousness. And when the consciousness falls very, very down, then they become animals. Then they don't understand anything. So just like in a hospital also, there are different degrees of the treatments, and somebody is sometimes doesn't undergo any kinds of response to any treatment, and doctor says, no, I cannot do anything. Why to torture him with the operations and so much medicines? Good doctor will say like this, now it's gone case. No. In Ayurveda, they don't treat a person having certain a person is not responding to any treatment, that means his life is over, whatever it is, that they don't treat. It's mentioned in Ayurveda. Which kind of patient should not be treated by the doctor? Symptoms. Because the treatment will cause him further torture, unnecessary. He is not going to survive. And then if you keep on, in today's world, they keep on ventilators and keep on doing all these medical tests and take out even, in Ayurveda they test person. There is no use going to treatment, then they don't treat him further. It's torture to the person, unnecessary. That if you know that this is not going to happen anything, but these people get money, and that's why they, even if person dies also they keep on ventilator. Till the time people don't detect. Many times it happens. But actually Vedic system is not like that. Ayurvedic system. Similarly, if the punishments are not going to work, his consciousness is so down, then naturally, because of his consciousness, he gets attracted to the lower species of life. And that's why the animal life is already punishment. They cannot understand higher subject matters. Just like the traffic laws are meant for whom? Those who know driving vehicles. For them the signals are there, right? But buffalo going from there. For buffalo, what signal buffalo is? They're just walking along. So the traffic rules, somebody breaks, then that person is charged, right? But not for buffaloes. Because they cannot understand, dull-headed, They cannot understand what is traffic laws and everything. So human life is very, very precious. We have been elevated to certain consciousness by the grace of Lord, by some arrangement of the Lord. This whole creation arranged that it always helps the living entities to upgrade his consciousness. Either through fear or through rewards, desires. Krishna's system work. Wherever the living entity falls, from there is a natural upgradation of his consciousness through the species. Different species are also arranged in such a way that the soul will be taken up and up in his consciousness. But that is very painful process and very, very slow. Srila Prabhupada says that how this upgradation of consciousness happens by living entities who are eating the lower living entities. They create fear. And because of that fear, they upgrade consciousness. He says certain insects are eaten by the birds, and in the next life those insects becomes the smaller birds because of the fear. So Sambrahma Bhaya Yogena, Bhagavatam says, Sambrahma Bhaya Yogena, Bhaya Yoga, not Bhakti Yoga, Bhaya Yoga. By fear their consciousness is upgraded. You can see in our lives also, we are fearful of someone, like people are fearful of the manager or supervisor on top. What the solution? They think, if I become manager, then fear will go away. Right? They think like that. And when they become manager, they fear somebody else. Either by desires to get some facilities and positions, or out of fear. The people upgrade their consciousness. But of course, that's not a proper way to upgrade, but this is how the lower species get upgraded. The human life, because it's an evolved species, our consciousness should be upgraded by higher values of duty platform, where we can understand the gratitude and love and all those aspects. Most of the people in human form of life also, they worship some gods of some idea about something God out of fear only. Bhaya. That is also good, but that's not the... you cannot go to very high platform by that. Fear or desires, like Dhruva Maharaj had desire when he worshipped Krishna. But duty platform, after you become purified, then you at least you understand it's my duty to do it. Gratitude. I am receiving so much. So this mind and senses, when they are controlled, then you can see the things actually you are coming to you. Otherwise, you take everything granted. You don't see you cannot see things gratefully. When your mind and senses are demanding so many things, it's very difficult to cultivate or to see the things with the higher values, with gratitude, with the duty, reciprocation. You cannot see like that. You think everything is granted. I deserve it. Everything has come by chance. Modern man, and the big scientist, no gratitude. Everything they are taking from the nature, and everything is happening by chance. Because everything happening by chance, then they don't have anything to reciprocate back. Because their hearts are filled with impurities like greed, lust, envy, pride, illusion, anger. They cannot recognize the mercy of the Lord in this world. Everything they take granted. And then they come with these different atheistic philosophies. But as one's heart becomes purified, you can see everything is mercy of the Lord. You are able to breathe, you are able to digest, you are able to hear, see. Everything is mercy of Krishna. Srila Prabhupada was taking in one lecture this. I am able to speak. Anything my voice I may lose this ability. I am an old man, my body may start functioning. I am able to do it, mercy of Krishna. You are able to hear his mercy of Krishna. But because our minds and senses are absorbed in demands, I want it, I deserve it, and we have pride, that's why we don't give credit to anybody else. And then they come with this, everything has come by chance. So many things happening in their nature, in their own body, such powerful system of digestion, neurology, and blood circulation, and heart pumping, and everything. They are seeing it also, that they have to do so much effort just to set right a small part of the body. Retina, there are specialists, retina specialists, eye specialists. Still they cannot understand that who has created or given this bodily machine to them by chance, evolution. Such illogical explanations. And the reason is that just because we don't see the creator. Don't see the creator of many things. See, the intelligence is to understand that there is a creator. Otherwise, how things are not created, maintainer also. But because of this impure heart, they are not able to recognize Krishna's, they are not able to see. And therefore Krishna says, you see my presence in so many things in nature. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says. But because there is no love or no gratitude, even one may try to see, he cannot see it. Always atheistic explanations. Oh, this has come by chance, Darwin said like this, he said like this. Those things we are backed up with those conceptions so much in our minds. And why we are holding on those? Because of impurity in the heart. Your heart becomes purified, then you can see all these people foolish, childish reasoning giving. Because you see Krishna, you can see the experience of the Lord's every moment. You don't need any theoretical proofs. One can see everything very clearly. So there is no way, if you are too much thinking with your intellect, material intellect, without purification, you cannot understand spiritual subject matters. You have to go deeper into, observe your own, how you are responding to the various situations. I am becoming greedy, envious, proud, lusty. And if you are not working on that, then simply trying to understand everything with intellect, Rupa Goswami says, you cannot, Jiva Goswami says that these things are beyond, inconceivable. Means what? With pure heart they can be seen by Krishna's grace. With impure heart, you can go on speculating thousands of lifetimes or whatever is. Still one cannot understand spiritual subject matters. Always saying here that 12 witnesses, still person means, who is seeing me? I can do anything. But more you become spiritually awakened, you can see all these things very clearly. That I have been observed, and ultimately Krishna is my well-wisher. Why should I spoil my own life? Why should I whimsically act in this material world? Why can't I just cooperate with Krishna's? Everything is grace coming in my life. Let me cooperate with him. It's for my own welfare. Nate vidu swartha gatim hi Vishnu. My own self-interest is Vishnu. Let me at least cooperate with him. Let me reciprocate with his whatever I am receiving in the form of my duties to perform. And a very advanced stage, then you just want to serve Krishna unconditionally. But at least as a gratitude, whatever I am receiving, as a matter of duty, whether I like or not, let me do my duties towards him. So that's how the sadhana bhakti is. Sadhana bhakti means you understand, it's my duty. My heart is impure, let me purify. Unfortunately, people, those who are too much impatience, they want to jump. I want to enjoy, Radha Krishna pastimes or whatever is it, sahajas. Without undergoing purificatory process, they just want to jump, bypass this. Bhakti is very powerful. It can do in one second also everything. But because we are not ready, we are delaying, then we want to jump. We don't want to pay the price and we want to jump also. Then they become sahajas. We sometimes hear such things and we want to jump. I want to enjoy that. Bhakti's process is very powerful. One moment Krishna says, Prabhupada says, or Krishna says also that you can be elevated to the highest platform. But we have to understand that we are not ready for it. We all have so much attachment to this, and I need to undergo purification. That's how the duty platform is. Not jumping. Okay. Any questions? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Yeah?
Some people, they try to enact Krishna's passion. Some people, they want to read Krishna's passion. This is both are not also.
Enact. Devotees want to enact past tense of Krishna so that others are inspired and we are also inspired. Oh. And another one what?
They want to read the past tense of Radha and Krishna.
Yes.
Are you referring to this or that?
No. I was saying in drama we were talking about. One is enacting, imitating is very, very bad, certainly. Without that proper qualification, you are trying to imagining that I am Gopi, I have become Gopi. It's foolishness. The consciousness of a service, selfless service. That's why all other Bhagavatam characters, Parishit Maharaj or Bhishma Dev or all the Mahajanas, they were not trying to imitate gopis. They had respect for gopis. Their service, seva. Whichever position I am put in, if that selfless service is there in my heart or not, one may be given access to that realm by Krishna's grace. One try to imitate whatever one has done, that also gets spoiled. If one has done something, imitation. Unless you are invited by Krishna and devotees, you cannot participate into his deeper pastimes. Thus, by imitating, one gets fooled by the Maya, imitation. Sahajas, they imitate. So the whole material world is this is a place of cheaters and cheated. One chit, okay? Vanchak Vanchit Sampradaya. So people want to cheat, and people want to be cheated like that. That's why the bhakti means a path of honesty. If you want to be honest, then you can see anarthas in the heart, and you take sincere shelter of Krishna. We are helpless, no demands. In asking the grace, Krishna, my dear Lord, please kindly. Ahinanda tanuja kinkaram patitamam vishame bhavan bhata. So when you are reading or you are enacting, reading also will lead to enact also. Improperly reading, directly jumping to the Ras Leela. These Bhagavatkars, they speak about this Ras Leela. Why? The people want to hear such things, and how they hear is another movie for them, hero, heroine. How people relish movies? Because every man thinks I am hero and every woman thinks I am heroine. So the movies are made in such a way that your consciousness is projected on those, and then you get absorbed in that movie, and that's how they earn money through it. False egos and our enjoying mentality is trapped by the materialistic people, and then they enjoy through it. Just like now this YouTubes. Everybody want to have YouTube channels. And then they try to give you the credit. Okay, you have earned so much views and so many things. Why? Because through that they earn money. YouTube earns money more. And part of it is given to you. And then everybody is having these channels, and there's so many channels, thousands of channels. Millions of channels are there. And then all these millions of followers also are millions of followers of others also. And one thing that I have so many followers, but they are not his followers. There are also another 1,000 people's followers also. So this desire to dhanam, janam, I want people, followers, is exploited by this YouTube. Fooled, people are fooled simply. They make sure that you get more followers so that you get trapped into that. And this having a follower is concept is only this virtual concept. You can have so many people following so many people and they encourage like that so that they can get their money more. And people's false ego is satisfied that I have so many followers. That is what they are doing. So whether you are reading or enacting, what is the consciousness? One is want to enjoy or one is wanting to serve. If one is wanting to serve, then he has to follow the acharyas. Prabhupada said you have to go through the process, first canto, second canto, and you see my heart is purified or not. And really I have developed respect for Krishna. I understood Krishna's greatness or not. And then with the blessings of Guru and Vaishnavas, one may hear from the right source those pastimes. The Vikriditam Brajavadu Vidam Chu Shraddhanvita, great Shraddha. What is Shraddha? These are not ordinary pastimes of this world. These are beyond this material world. This is not love affairs between boy and girl. That Shraddha has to be there. Shraddhanvita Anushriyat. And then you has to hear from the right source. Acharyas. Atavaranayetam. Then it will destroy the lust. One can say also it is increasing my lust or it is removing my lust by reading those things. That's why honest, how this medicine is working. Medicine is very powerful, but some medicines are powerful, but then it requires also a proper strength of the person who is undergoing the treatment. In Ayurveda there is a concept that how it is, patient is responding to the medicine. There are some medicines very powerful like this Makar Dhwaj or whatever is that, made up of gold and the mercury, but that is not given generally. But it can do miracles. bring the dead man also, they say, back to the life. But still, the person who is undergoing the treatment, he has to, otherwise it acts as a poison also. Same medicine can act as a poison if it is not absorbed in the body properly. That's why the expert physician can do it. And he has to see the ability of the patient also. That's why these pastimes of Krishna are like also that powerful medicine. But then it has to be heard properly and under the proper guidance, then it will act. Otherwise it will spoil also one's consciousness if it is improperly taken. So therefore, a person who is advancing in consciousness, we have to see there is no difference in that sense at our stage to see whether it is Arjuna, Parishit Maharaj, all these devotees or gopis. Their conscience is to serve, not to enjoy. If my conscience is also like that, whichever position Krishna has put me in, how I can serve, then that's healthy consciousness. If I think that all these things are becoming boring, let me hear something gopis pastimes. I have not seen movies for a long time. Some romantic things I have to read here. Mind can cheat us like that. So therefore we should be cautious about it. So because our mind can trick us, that's why we need somebody who can, whom where you have faith, that person can say, okay, not good. Doctor also says, patient has to go to doctor. Why? Because doctor sees. Patient wants to usually avoid medicine and break the regulations. That's the nature of the patient. But sometimes patients are so tricky, they can trick the doctor also. There was a king. The king had some problems. The doctor told him not to eat any sweets. Then the king became very, very morose. Without sweet, how my life will go on? And especially laddu I like so much. He said, doctor, at least you allow me to eat one laddu every day. He said, no, you have too much problem with sweets, you cannot eat. At least half laddu. Every day I eat at least 10 laddus, at least give me half laddu permission. Doctor said, okay, half only, not more than that. And the next day the doctor got the news that urgent, king has become sick. He was called. Then he checked. He said, you have eaten a lot of sweets. He said, no, only I ate half laddu. And then the doctor saw remaining half, this much big. So he made such a big laddu, half of that laddu. So that's how the mind tricks us. We somehow or other want to get our things done. But if we are honest, what is the purpose behind those instructions, what is given, then we will be always very, that humility and honesty, then everything becomes very crystal. But mind is so tricky. We want to somehow or other bypass, escape. That's how the people also misuse Vedas. How? The Vedic instructions are misused because of their strong desires, lusty desires. Kamastaistya rutagyana prapadyante anna devata. So all the Hiranyakashipu, Ravana, they were very knowledgeable about the Vedas. But they don't understand the purpose of the Vedas, actual purpose of the Vedas. They try to use the Vedas also for their self-gratification. That's why the sincerity is the factor which actually that makes a person really get benefited. Humility and sincerity. False pride and cheating propensity, that makes things very, very complex. If one is humble and one has really sincerity, honesty, to see what is the effect happening, then the one can make advancement. But the false pride doesn't allow that. Oh, I am so great. What is the problem? Nothing. Hari Bol. Yes. Okay. Answers. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.